Hello. In this video I will try to explain what this channel is about, why I'm doing it and what do I plan. So let's start. Everything in this universe should have a reason. I propose to discuss an idea that this reason is an algorithm. Starting with quantum of energy and its primitive algorithm, we go to elementary particles, then to molecules, cells, and then up to our own consciousness. On each level algorithms get more and more complexity. Our consciousness in this case is not more than a combination of algorithms of parts of our body. This approach could explain everything, from quantum mechanics to every human action. We call the process of algorithms evolving, evolution. A global evolution process. Biological evolution that Charles Darwin spoke about is only one type of it. The question that I propose to clarify is when exactly that evolution started, and how exactly it happens. If our universe is navigated by algorithms, we can understand our world by finding the algorithms that led it from its initial state to what we can see around us now. The same way we can understand ourselves. In other words, every journey should have a starting point. Imagine an ordinary man that lives ordinary life, who occasionally notices repeating patterns in his own behavior as well as in behavior of other humans. Imagine how he tries to understand why that happens and at the end comes to a conclusion that he follows an algorithm that can be described with several simple words. Understands that he and everything around him is a combination of discrete machines with huge amount of possible states. Imagine his shock and his wish to disprove his own conclusion, his wish to understand everything up to every tiny detail. I know that it sounds like a trailer to some sci-fi movie, but imagine for a second that it might appear to be the reality. No, I don't want to say that we live in a matrix and that some robots use us to get energy for themselves and that some evil agent Smith is watching us. No, I'm saying that we are the matrix. We are agents Smiths ourselves. Our elementary particles are discrete machines. Our universe is not physical, it's algorithms based. And we follow that algorithm. And if that's true, then what we can do other than to try to find those algorithms and investigate how we can use them. Imagine yourself a robot that finds out his own algorithm. Isn't that the pinnacle of knowledge? I should also mention that if I'm right, it would be a real knowledge revolution. Revolution that I'm not even sure what we can compare with. It would make us fully review much of what we think we know. For example, would give local interpretation of quantum mechanics, destroy its mysteries, explain why Bell's inequalities are not usable, explain Schrödinger cat, observer effect, Heisenberg uncertainty principle, particle-wave duality, disprove independence of speed of light from the speed of observer, disprove space expansion, Big Bang, give a real reason for gravity and evolution of humanity. Many things. Yes. It would also give answers to some question that we did not even ask ourselves. For example, what is the physical sense of complex numbers, how exactly exponent is connected with circular motion, what is rest mass and what is relativistic mass, why kinetic energy increases as square of speed, why the northern hemisphere of Earth is warmer than the southern hemisphere, why we need art, how the Hubble constant is connected with our free will and what reduced Planck's constant has to do with all of that. Even if I'm not right, I would say all of that sounds as a cool story. You did not ever read or watch anything like that anywhere. Crazy stuff. Anyway, occasionally it might appear to be the theory of everything. But not theory of everything meaning all physics, but of physics and everything the rest. Including physics, biology, philosophy and even the creator. I know that all of that sounds suspiciously, but how else can I show you how huge this stuff is? A stuff that can be clearly seen, but nobody sees it. In the 21st century when computers are everywhere around us. All of that is so huge that I almost lost the hope that I will be taken seriously by science. So you can look at it as if it's a new conspiracy theory. Yes, scientists lie. To themselves. As well as we all do. Why I'm recoding these videos? Well, per my theory there is only one real reason why we do anything. Because we like what we are doing or because we are trying to achieve something that we like or wish. I like what I describe, I'm happy with it and I want to share my happiness with you. Anyway, if I'm a robot, then everything I do in my life is executing my algorithm. So we can say that it's my destiny to do what I'm doing. I was chosen to do it by somebody or something that gives me positive feelings when I'm describing you my version of the world. In a later video I hope to explain who is that somebody or something. I understand that not everybody will like an idea that he is a robot. What can I say? I don't have other universe for you. But I can show you how you could possibly have free will with an algorithms-based universe. And what is so bad about being a robot? Why it's somehow different from being something navigated by math formulas? Anyway, I hope to find enough people that are interested in these ideas. I hope that people exist who don't want to live in fairy tales of today physics, who wants to make a step forward and find a real knowledge. Why do I need you? Well, during my investigations I came to a conclusion that critical thinking does not or almost does not exist, and that the only real type of critical thinking we can have is when a critical mass of people want to think differently. Without that, progress is not possible. There is no any sense in a gold nugget if nobody likes a gold nugget. My theory gives predictions and can be checked in experiment. But nobody will launch experiments until there is observable amount of supporters of this idea. So by pressing like and subscribe and commenting this video you might be changing the world. You might be taking part in real understanding of nature. In building laws of nature that are based on logic and not on guessing math formulas. How often do you get a chance to change the world? What will be your next opportunity to do that? Let's launch a revolution, let's bring the logic back. All videos on this channel will be connected together by one idea, but separated into small pieces that can be discussed one by one. I already recorded 3 videos that might explain some mysteries of our universe if you look at it as if it's a huge discrete robot. Such robot would require absolute frame of reference and absolute time to work in, so my first video provides corresponding adjustments to special relativity and gives predictions that can be checked in experiment if you have a synchrotron. My second video gives general rule for matter behavior that would be natural for universe, which is a huge robot. Constant speed of matter, constant speed of robot is quite natural behavior for something that executes the same pattern over and over again. My third video shows why Schrödinger's cat, Lorentz transformations would not be a mystery at all in a universe based on discrete events, produced during discrete algorithms execution. I will continue recording short videos with awkward graphics explaining you how algorithms-based universe could work. I will do that until this channel gets noticed by the real science. And until experiments that would prove or disprove it are launched. Or until I find an investor, who is wise enough to understand how huge this idea might be. In all senses. And then we'll see what happens next. I'm quite sure that it will not be a disaster for me if this theory appears to be wrong. But what if it's not? Anyway, there are too many coincidences for it to be wrong. You'll see. So that is the plan. I should also mention that famous American physicist Richard Feynman had similar ideas. Here is what he was saying in one of his public lectures. I must say, I've often made a hypothesis that physics ultimately will not require a mathematical statement. That the machinery ultimately will be revealed. It always bothers me that in spite of all this local business, what goes on in, no matter how tiny a region of space and no matter how tiny a region of time, according to the laws and how we understand them today, takes a computing machine an infinite number of logical operations to figure out. Now how can all that be going on in that tiny space? Why should it take an infinite amount of logic to figure out what one stinky tiny bit of spacetime is going to do? And so, I made a hypothesis often that the laws are going to turn out to be, in the end, simple like the checkerboard and that all the complexity is from size. So I'm going to show you that checkerboard. Thank you for your attention.